Okay, here, get your bands. Everybody's got their bands. We're recording. I have my, I simply found a great big towel and I'm just on a floor. Here's a counter. See this height? Here's the back of a couch. This is a great height. And this, if you have a kitchen chair, I'm using this as my sit down kitchen chair because I'm almost at a 90 degrees. A kitchen chair will take your hip and your knee at a 90 degrees, okay? So I'm gonna start at my counter here. You could use a bed. So I've got this here if I ever need to reach it. I'm barefooted, in case you haven't noticed. Let me show you a really simple thing that when you're at your house, or you can take this band with you anywhere, and you could go for a walk. Let me show you how to double and triple the effects of that walk. Do you see what I'm doing? I've got this extra long band. It's about 12 inches. And I put my fingers like this. See that? And I go down with my wrist and up with my wrist. But what am I doing? I have a gentle resistance because this is taut. See, if it's here, there's no resistance. But if it's here, it's a gentle resistance. Now, if I really open those, it's a lot of resistance. Let me caution you, it will get your attention in your shoulders and your elbows. So be very careful to set your shoulders down, okay? That is a safety mechanism as well as just good mechanics. Take big breaths through your nose. Let me show you how to get the triple effect of a walk, okay? And at first, I'm going to just take steps. Do you see this? I'm on my towel. I'm barefooted. I'm only taking a few steps, 1 or 2 steps. But I am forcing, not forcing is a bad word. I'm allowing my toes, my whole foot to go through a wide range of motion. I'm going to take my band as I showed you, and this is the trick. You're walking, but you're going to keep that that gentle resistance by keeping the thing taut. Don't pull it. Now I'm going to push down and I'm going to pull up. See that? Then I'm going to come to neutral. I'm going to push down and I'm going to pull up. Okay? This should not hurt your shoulder. If it does, reset yourself, drop your shoulders, keep a tight tummy, just a gently tight tummy, and take those steps. And as you're taking those steps and you're ambulating all through that whole foot range, you're rolling. That's all walking is a series of rolling the foot. And many of us have our feet in boxes for the whole day, especially when we're walking. And if you have your foot in a box, it can't roll. So I am going slowly, and I'm being very conscious of a heel to the midfoot to the forefront foot rolling action. And as I do this, just a normal stepping, what am I doing with my hands? Do not blow this off and think this is just too easy, nah, nah, nah. No, if you have issues with any joints replaced, arthritis, fibromyalgia, osteoporosis, low muscle, what I'm doing is so important because I'm putting a press. I'm pulling up, I'm pushing down, I'm keeping my shoulders down, I'm walking gently, and I'm pushing and pulling the whole time. But look at my elbows. You gotta look at the elbows. The elbows are right into my hip bones, right there. See there? Big breath in through the nose. So you're pushing down, you're pulling up. Don't do this too fast because I want you to go as far down as you can and as far up as you can. And this little band offers the chance for me to really make the muscles in my whole upper body work. And why is that important? Well, if you have limited ability to move, sometimes you just don't move and you just feel like I just need to sit here because every time I move, I'm going to hurt myself. I'm showing you, this is kind of my alternative to walking on a treadmill. Would you want to do this every single day? No. But you know what? If you have a band and you can do this simple push-pull, just like walking front to back, and you can engage in that from 3 to 5 minutes, take it to 8 minutes. You know, if you're watching something or listening to something, just keep your positioning good. That is going to drain your muscles of the high after you eat. That's when insulin is demanded to pour out. That's when your glycogen gets too high and your body has to put insulin out. And in diabetes, the whole point of exercising, or let's say, I won't say exercise. Now I've gone to a different move. What have I done? I've just changed my pull. So now I'm walking and I'm pulling the elbow back. And when I pull the elbow back, the shoulder goes back, okay? This is excellent moves for somebody that has forward head or rounded shoulders. This little move done repeatedly is just money as far as opening up your shoulder. It's a minimal motion. Again, I'm pushing down and I'm pulling back. So I'm doing the two fundamental principles of how we can even move at all, which is a series of pushing and pulling, okay? I'm just capitalizing on that right now. And I'm demanding that my muscles are contracting hard enough. So anytime you walk, anytime you move, you're draining your muscles of glycogen. It's just eating it up. And that is the formula for not stepping into diabetes. Move after every time you eat, just move. Grab your little band and do 3 to 8 minutes of this. Oh my goodness, your profile would totally change. Do you see how I'm changed from one move now to another move? Take a big breath. Now I'm just going to come right here. I'm not going to pull anything. All I'm going to do is hang on. And on this one, let me encourage you, I don't want to curl my wrist, okay? Now for the Marilyns of the world who are famous for rolling their wrists, I hope you're laughing, Marilyn. Keep your wrist in neutral. Why? Because it's going to make you use these more. That's why. Now what I want to do is I want to go from walking and I want to do a simple, drop my shoulders, keep my chin tucked, tighten right here, ribcage up, and see what I'm doing? All I'm doing is rolling from my heel to where I'm really stretching my toes, all my toes, just by doing this. You can do this anywhere, anytime. Now add to it that I'm just going to raise my elbows now. Before I had my elbows down, right close, right? Now I have them here. I'm going to roll. I'm not putting pressure on those toes. See, all the pressure is on this foot, okay? I'm just letting my toes get a really good flexion and extension, see? Just like that. Keep these right here. Now, if you were holding your elbows here the whole time, and Kathy knows exactly how long we're doing it, look at your wrists, because some of you are going to want to roll them. Don't roll them. Okay. I give that, this is my caution for not rolling your wrists is the Marilyn caution, because Marilyn likes to roll her wrists. Okay. I've worked with you personally. I know you guys. Okay, look at my elbows. Don't roll those wrists. Don't do it. Just hold it right here. And see, I'm not pulling. I'm just elevating my elbows. And I'm holding the band in a neutral, neutral wrist. See that? And I'm shifting. I'm shifting from side to side because I don't want to put pressure on my toe box. I want to put pressure on the foot that's flat. And I'm holding right here. And now I'm going to raise those elbows a little more, but I'm not pulling. I'm just keeping my band taut. See my elbows? Yeah, see my elbows? I'm going to bring them on up. Yeah, my shoulders are going to come up a little bit. See how I'm just bringing them way up? Yeah, come all the way. Now drop them. Turn. Take a big deep breath. Turn. Take a big deep breath. So now when I turn, I totally turn and pivot on that little toe box. See, when I raise my heel, I want to turn everything. And why is this little tiny movement such a good thing? You are oiling all your joints right now with that synovial fluid. Okay? Now take one elbow up and one elbow down. One elbow up and one elbow down. One elbow up and one elbow down. Take a big deep breath. 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 Then I come down. Now we're going to go up, all the way up. Okay? So now I'm hanging on to this. I'm not pulling it. It's just taut. Okay, there's a big difference there. I'm going to swing this down toward that leg that I just stepped out on. See that? So I'm shifting. Then I'm going to come straight up. And I'm going to shift my weight into the knee. And I'm going to come down, but I am not bending my back. I'm swooping, bringing those arms up. Then I'm going to swoop and bring it down. I put all the weight right here on this leg. Then I come straight up right here. So at this point right here, I want you to squeeze your gluteals. That's utilizing that isometric principle that I went over on Monday. Here I'm going to go swoop. As I bend, I'm coming right into here. I'm pushing the butt back. Then I bring it up to the center. And now I'm going to go and push my butt down, and I'm going to hip hinge, and I'm going to come down below the knee. And then I'm going to come all the way up. Again, keep those wrists neutral. Okay, here we go. Swoop down, and you're going to reach way down below the knee. But the back stays extended here. Okay, then I'm going to bring it up to the center. Then I'm going to bring it right down here on top of my head. Bring it right here on top of your head. Bring it right up. Okay, now this one, my knees are soft. They're not bent. Keep my shoulders down as I bring this right on top of the head. See the elbows? And I'm going to go back behind the head and then on top of the head. Careful with this one. Take a breath. Okay? Go back behind the head with the band and then go to the top of the head. Take a breath. Back behind the head, and you're not pulling on the band, you're just keeping it taut. Your knees are soft, they're not bent. Take a big breath. They're right here on the head. Okay, one more time. Here we go. Behind the head. Behind the head. Just really pull the shoulder blades together. Okay, this is for you, Kay. I know she's feeling it. Okay, and then swoop. bring it back down, just like that, okay? Now you go a pendulum swing. But if you were doing this and I walked into your room right this minute and you did this, see, I would come right over to you and run my hand right here. And if I felt it rounded at all, we would have to stop and I'd have to have you reposition. So your rib cage goes up, you're bringing this down, but this does not round. My knees are soft. I pendulum. Okay, this is a great move to do with this band. Pendulum, back and forth, back and forth. Do not put your back in a flexed position, meaning rounding it, okay? Now put the hands right on those legs and come up from that. Big breaths. Okay, now I just now told you not to round your back, correct? Here's a counter. You could do it from your chair, the back of your chair. You could do it from the counter. You could do it from the side of the bed. Now we are going to round our back. And we're going to do this same move down in the floor today. So when we get in the floor, if you are having a hard time getting in the floor, you can do it all. Sorry, this is live. And I've got dogs that bark. Oh dear, I was going to put them up. They were so comfortable. Get back over there. Go, go, go. They were chewing their bone and now they're watching dogs. Okay, here's the counter. Sorry about that. Shh. Go, go, go. No, no. Sorry, I'm going to have to put them in the back. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Get in there. See, I just put them in the room and shut the door. I could put them in their cage. You can't do that with kids. Well, I guess you could. Okay, are you ready? I'm just joking. Okay, here's my counter. Let me tell you, if you have a solid counter that you can do some work on, you've got a ready-made training. So I'm right here. I'm going to take a wider stance. First thing I'm going to do is push my hips. I'm not going to tighten my gluteals. I'm going to push my hips in toward the counter as I lean back with my chin tucked. Bring it in, drop your shoulders, push in, and come back down. So I'm doing a low push right here. Take a big deep breath. She's gonna have a fit. Here we go. I have a nutcase for a dog. Oh my goodness. For 13 pounds, she sure makes a lot of noise. Drop your shoulders. Do you see what I'm doing? Take the time to do this against a counter. I'm telling you, you're going to feel so much better because it's opening up your back. Okay? Because it's opening here at your hips. Take a big deep breath. When you come off of that, you just turn to the side and you're going to swing the inside leg, not the outside leg, because I don't want you leaning. I want you to swing this gently. It's not going to be a huge swing. This move right here, along with that first move I did, where I'm opening up the hips, will help tremendously with your hip. Your knee here is just soft. Okay, my toe is up in dorsiflexion, and I'm just doing a gentle swing back and forth with my tummy tight. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, 3 more. Take a breath, hanging on here, staying upright. And I have to put her in her cage. Jeez. Okay, I'm going to turn around. So I'm going to do the inside leg, okay? And you'll notice my foot is in dorsiflexion so that I don't catch it on the ground. Don't point your toe. Bring your toe up. And do you see how low this is? You see, I'm not trying to go way up. Yeah, I used to do that a lot. I'm trying to loosen and make my hip joint feel better. Number 1, you're getting synovial fluid in that joint. Number 2, you're doing an even greater work toward loosening up a tight hip. Just with this slow, gentle swinging. And if you notice, my toe is pointed forward. Don't let your toe go out, okay? Big breath, big breath, big breath. Now, put your hands right here on the counter, right here on your chair, on the back of your chair. Now we're gonna round the back, but I'm gonna fully unload it. So I'm in a wide stance. I'm gonna push my rear end back. I'm gonna put my elbows here, and now I'm gonna round my back. I'm bringing my shoulders to my ears. Then I'm gonna come back down, take a big breath, and I'm gonna go into that cat camel stance with my back. Here I go, round the back so it's in a mad cat position. And then bring the chest back down to your chair or to the counter. Then I'm gonna push it back. So I'm not just holding. I'm doing a moving or a dynamic way to stretch. So my knees are soft. I'm pushing my back up. I'm tightening my stomach. My shoulders are at my ears. Take a big breath. And then I rotate and bring the chest back down. Then I go back. Take a big deep breath. And rounding, bringing the shoulders to the ears. And then bringing it back down. So many of you, or many people that are just coming on to understand kind of what I'm doing. Why am I having you round your back here in this position? Well, I'm not loaded. So that's the whole thing. When you're gonna load, when you're gonna do work and pull, then you have to have your back extended. But when you need to open up those sinew in the back, this type of hyperextension, and then coming down and going into a shoulder to the ear, and you push your upper back in a rounded position, and then you come back. Excellent work to do. Okay. We were using band, and if you don't have a tea towel, just grab your band, but I have a tea towel. You have a tea towel. I got you warmed up with the band, push, pull. Now what I'm gonna do is take my band, and I'm gonna bring it from here, and I'm gonna bring it from here to here. So here's my counter. It could be the back of your chair. Could be the back of your kitchen chair. It could be the side of your bed. You get the idea. Okay. Again, I'm barefooted. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that knee up to the counter. So see what I have here? I have a 90 degree at my hip, and I have a 90 degree at my knee. See that? And then I just bring it down. So I got my little tea towel right here. I can hold my hands on it or hang on to it. I'm just going to hang on to it and put my thumbs under the counter. I'm going to bring my knee up. Now, if you're like me, you're going to notice it's much more effort on one side versus the other side. For whatever reason, whatever you got going on in your hip. But here's the deal. We're trying to stay functional, correct? So we help ourselves over the hard parts. So I bring this up, no problem. This is my hip replace side. When I go to this side, so I'm going to shift. So I'm doing, in essence, a one-legged stance, correct? So I'm going to shift. Do not lock your knee. Keep it soft, but bring that knee up. So I can tell you on this one, when I bring this knee up, this is my knee replace side. Back here is much tighter on me than on this side. That's because this is the hip that is kind of giving me a little pushback these days. So I'm working with it, but I'm noticing where is the movement hard for me. So when you go to your healthcare provider, the more information you can give them about what moves give you angst, what moves are feeling tight, So this, no problem. This is my hip replace side. This, it's feeling heavy right back here. See? Drop it down. But you know what I just did? I did a series of one-legged stances. And yes, I did it with help here. I didn't do it freestanding. You know, they show all these great moves that people are doing, you know, one leg. Well, you know what? It is what it is. And if you have joint issues, use a helper, which is a counter. And when you're doing this, you keep that knee soft, you put it down, shift, keep that knee soft, bring that knee all the way up to the counter. Try to bring it as far up to the counter as you can. See, if you have to go lower, that's perfectly fine. See, if you can only go here, that's okay too. You're still doing one-legged stances. And the trick, one of the biggest secrets to keeping your balance and to keeping your muscles in your lower body is a series of one-legged stances. What is walking? Walking is a series of a split second one-legged stance. That's what walking is. You will walk better if you do what I just did here, and if you will get to where you can do a hold. So here, I put my knee on the counter. Here, I'm not on the counter. Here, I'm using one hand or no hands, but it's right there if I need it. See? So if you need to put your knee here on the counter, or if you need to do it lower and challenge yourself with holding with one hand, then the other hand, look at how long I had to stay on one leg. I just did a really elongated one-legged stance. I just want you to realize how valuable some of these moves are. And don't discount them thinking, oh, I need to do something harder to challenge myself. Well, if you can't stand here at your counter with no hands, then you got to start somewhere. And again, you may not be able to bring it up this high. Maybe you need to start down here, maybe down here. Soften your knee. One hand, then the other hand. Then get to where you can do no hands, but the counter's right there. And how do you do this? Exactly like I'm taking you right now. Then get to where you can do 30 seconds on one leg, up to a minute, okay? Then I go into a whole nother thing where I do little dips and stuff like that. Okay, now we're ready to do the next part of this whole program today. And I'm gonna use this when I get in the floor. If you can't get in the floor, if you can get a band on you, fine. If you can't, don't worry about it. So I am gonna go down into the floor. There's all kinds of things out there showing you how you must do this test to see if you can get down off the floor and up. And if I did it, I'd put my joints out, the replaced joints. So what I'm going to show you is I want you to go with me. This is part of our workout today. So here's my band in the floor where I'm going to use it. I'm going to take a step on my little mat here. I'm going to get down one way and get up this way, and then I'm going to do it a different way. And it's going to be a series of up downs. So get that in your head. See how I'm standing here? It's a wide open stance. But I'm not going to go down yet because I'm going to move this leg forward and this leg back. And I'm going to get comfortable with that modality, with that type of move. See this? Take a big deep breath, drop your shoulders. See how I'm stretching my heel cords? Yeah. Then I'm going to come back up. So I might do it 2 times. I might do it 3 times. Get used to doing a split leg stance. And this is wider than normal. I'm barefooted. Don't let yourself slip, okay? Now I've done that a couple times. Now I'm going to bend that back knee and come down. But looky here, I had my hand right here on this the whole time. This could be your chair. Okay, so if you have trouble on your knee, then put that little balance pad under your knee. See how I'm down here? Now to get up from this position with your bare feet can really be a push. So use your chair. So I'm gonna put my hands here and here. I'm gonna push and I'm gonna come up. You see that? When you push on your arm, make sure your shoulders are down. So now I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna step back. I got my hands right here on my chair if I need it. I'm gonna bend, 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 and come down to a soft landing. That's the point. You see that? And then I'm gonna need to get up. I might have my hand here or here. Keep your shoulders down, push, and come up, okay? Now we're gonna get down a second way. That's one way, by using a chair, by using an assist, you know, a counter, whatever, a bench. Now you're gonna go wide, and you're gonna come right down here to a lean out, like a 3-point stance. See that? Do a 3-point stance several times, because what does that do? When I do this and turn and look over my shoulder, I'm giving my shoulders, I'm giving my back, I'm giving my gluteals, my knees, and my feet a little push to a rolling action. See that? I'll do that several times. Okay, now about now you want to drop your butt a little more. Okay? And then you want to start to walk out. And you bring those knees down. Okay? So here I am in the floor. Don't think I'm going to stay here. Okay? My toes are really, really stretching. Very important in toe flexibility and strength to be able to do full ranges. Then pull your toes under and sit back with your toes pointed so that it makes you use your ankles. Okay? So inflexible ankles and inflexible toes, weak ankles, weak toes, weak feet are one of the main reasons why we have trips and falls. Okay? Then I curl my toes under again. Now I'm going to tighten my tummy. And I'm going to drop my shoulders. That is the first two things you got to do. Then you've got to go very wide with your feet. Okay? Put those toes under. Tighten up. Then you're going to roll. There's that word again. You're going to roll from the midfoot to your heels. Okay? And then you equalize. And then we can either come up and go about our day. I'm telling you, if you would do this little move, I would say 3 times. You could go up to 8 times. Most days. You don't have to do them all at once. Personally, I like to put the Dove chocolates around that AJ keeps giving me and make myself get down and pick them up. That's what I like to do. So here I am. I'm going to go down and get that piece of chocolate. I'm going to walk out and I'm going to take my time. I'm not putting my knees straight down. I'm hovering. Then I put my knees down. Then I go down to my elbows. Okay? Take a big breath. Then go back up on your hands. And I'm doing this as a way to really help people that have replaced joints, that have real issues with knees, with hips, with backs, with their muscles, to really stimulate muscle, okay? You're using your own body weight here. You're using a lot of muscles and joints that are working, okay? Keep your tummy tight. Okay, I got my toes under me. I'm gonna come up again. Yes, I am. So I'm gonna push, I'm gonna tighten my tummy, take a breath, exhale, get my knees off the ground. I'm gonna hover there for a little bit. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath. Then I'm gonna step in, rotate back, take another breath. Sure, I could get up and go on about my day, or I can come back down to a 3-point stance, 3-point stance, 3-point stance, walk out, walk out. Now you're gonna hover, you're gonna bring your knees down, you're gonna hover, hold it here, breath, 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 and down. Yay. Okay, now I'm gonna just turn. I'm gonna have a seat right on my little towel, okay? Right here on my little towel. All right. Okay. So here's my little kickstand right here. You see right here? So this could be your chair, it could be a wall, or not. Don't even worry about it if you can't do it. But what I'm gonna do now is, because I've made my upper body work against this little resistance, well, I'm in a good position that I'll just quickly step into this little band. And this is where having an extra long band really matters. It helps so much. And I'm gonna bring that band all the way up to above my knees, okay? So now you know how we did with the arms. Remember I just said taunt? Well, now your legs can take a lot more. So we're gonna take the band and we're gonna open out our whole leg to just so that it's taut. Once we get that tautness, then I'm gonna open my hips here, and you can put your hands back here if you want to. If you want this to be very challenging, then don't put your hands back here. Keep your back straight and open. See, just hang on here. Then you'll get a really good work. If that's not for you yet, put your hands back here. Fingers toward the butt, because that's gonna open your shoulders a bit, okay? And you're gonna take one leg, and you're gonna step it out and in. See that? But here's the trick. You gotta keep your hands back here to help keep your back extended. Do not round your back. I see these demonstrated so many times and doing this positional thing, and the backs are all rounded, okay? Drop your shoulders, fingertips toward butt, open the hip a bit, and just take one leg out against that band. Then bring it back to the taunt position. Then bring the other one out and in. We'll do it 2 or 3 times. Rib cage up, take a big breath, go out and in. See this? Out and in. So we're doing this in a supine position. A lot of times you'll see this done where you're lifting your leg. I'm trying to get ranges, and I'm trying to give gentle resistance. See this stepping in and out? Yeah, you don't have to do it repeated if it bothers you. Just go out and in and out and in. So this means all your weaker muscles on the sides and on the inside of your hips are needing to work a little bit right now. See that? And my toes are pointed right now, but I'm going to go dorsiflexion now. So when I go dorsiflexion, and some of you who have stayed in this position are going to be like, oh my goodness, I need a break. Then what you do is you just put your legs, put one leg down, one leg up, one leg down, one leg up. See that? That gives you a little break. Okay, take a breath, reposition your little band, Go to taunt. Put your hands back here. Say rib cage up. Take a big breath. Drop your shoulders and step out and in and out and in. And you're going to do it with your foot in a dorsiflexed position. So now we're working our adductors and our abductors. Those are those weaker guys around the hips. And for people with hips replaced, wow, do we have to work on these? I know it. Take a breath, and this is a great way to do it. You gotta keep your rib cage up. Take a breath. Take a breath. Foot is in dorsiflexion all the way. Take a breath. Breath and breath. Take one leg down, one leg up, and then turn. See that? Totally releases all that tension. Take a breath. Yeah. Take a breath. Then you bring one leg up, one leg down, grab it, turn, look over your shoulder. Whoa, that feels so much better already. Take a big deep breath, bring it down. Okay, now we're gonna bring this down just a little bit, okay? Big breath, yeah. So I've got the band around my ankle and the band around my ankle, okay? Okay, hands go under the knee. That's number one. Now you have resistance around your ankles, right? Say rib cage up and lean back. Let your arms just lean you back. Okay, for some of you, that's gonna be a big deal. I have a little phlegm in my throat, sorry about that. Okay, let's try it again. The band is around the ankles. I'm going to bring this knee back here and I'm gonna lean back all the way. Then I'm gonna bring this knee in to my chest. I'm using my arms and my leg and then bring it down. It's a very gentle work. It's the moves to get into this that you might not be used to. So here I am. They're around the ankles. I'm gonna lean back. See, all the way with my arms, all the way, don't hold them back. All the way, rib cage up. I'm gonna bring this knee into my shoulder. Really pull it. See this? Pull it. Keep your back extended. Keep your back extended. Just a gentle pull. And then bring it back down. Okay, now I'm gonna take that band out from my legs. I'm going to lay down. I'm going to put my feet right here. Now, I'm just choosing a low, a little rung on the chair because I have it here. I'm going to use it. You could put your feet into your chair. That might be too high for you. You don't have to put it on anything. You can just put your feet on the floor. Okay? So here I am. The higher you put your foot, the harder the work will be. So you can go straight from the floor. If you're just coming back in after being gone, if you are working some real challenges with legs, backs, etc., just put your feet on the floor. See? And when I go to lay down, you can do this seated. You can do this in a chair, and you just lift your hips. Okay? Because that's what we're going to do. Just lift your hips. So in order to get down though, some of you have such issues that you should not go straight down like this. That might be too much. Let's employ the rolling. So see, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll. And I'm gonna roll. See that? Then you get yourself situated so that your butt is closest you can to your heels. So that might mean here on the floor, and then lift your hips. See that? That might mean that you inch yourself a little closer and you put your feet on the rung or the chair. Okay, are you ready? So I'm gonna push down on the chair with my heels, and I'm gonna tighten my gluteals. And I'm gonna start the roll. I'm gonna roll up. And I'm gonna get all the way up as far as I can go. And I'm gonna squeeze my gluteals. I'm gonna hold it up here, hold it up here, hold it up here. I'm pressing down on my heels. And then I'm gonna roll down like a string of pearls and release everything. Okay? Now, if I were doing that on the floor, it'd be the same way. And those of you who have some back issues, I would suggest that you stay with your feet in the floor and do this whole work where you're going up, you're squeezing your butt, you're coming down one vertebrae at a time, release your gluteal. Okay, just stay in the floor and try to get, just stay with me for at least 3, if not 5, really good holds, okay? Yes, I would love it if I could get you to sign a document that says, I'm gonna do 2 or 3 sets of 10 of these every day, Jeannie. My guess is you won't. So just do these with me because I'm here doing it with you. My feet are on my elevated, whatever that is, or not, on the floor. I'm gonna start squeezing in the gluteals, that's contracting. And on my hands, I'm gonna pull up, and I'm gonna push down, keep my shoulders rolled in. I'm gonna lift one vertebrae at a time. I'm gonna come all the way up here. I'm gonna hold, squeeze. Breath. Then I'm gonna start coming down slowly, one vertebrae at a time, and release. Okay, stay with me, we're on a roll. Drop your shoulders, squeeze those shoulder blades in. Here we go, lift, squeeze the gluteal, bring it up, breath, take a breath, then come down one vertebrae at a time, and release all the way. Okay, we're just gonna do one more, stay with me, don't quit yet. Drop your shoulders, squeeze your shoulders in, push down on your hands, whether it's palm or put the back of your hands, start to squeeze through the gluteals, lift one vertebrae at a time, bring it all the way up, hold, and then come down one vertebrae at a time. Yeah, and release. Okay, if you have your feet up on something, I can tell you that you're probably feeling it in the hamstrings, which that's where you're supposed to. And I'm telling you, this is a well underutilized little magical move. If you can only see your way through 3 of them, just do 3 of them, okay? And then just keep going. Okay, roll, don't go fast. You're rolling, then you're coming up. And see what's so neat about being in the floor and then coming up. You might be a little dizzy, but you're not going to fall very far. It's supposed to be a joke. Okay. Okay. This is supine position. Okay. We're up. Now we're going to roll into prone position because we have to work both sides. So I'm going to again roll. I'm going to roll. And I'm going to roll. I'm going to be in the down position or prone. Okay, face down. All right. So my elbows are going to be under me. I'm going to do yet another positional back extension, a hyperextension, gently done, very, very beneficial. Learn how to do it. Very beneficial to do this. In fact, if you can just hang out here with pillows under you, that will help you so much, alleviate a lot of tightness and pain in your back. Watch your shoulders, okay? So once we're down here, I'm going to bring my elbows out, and I'm gonna put my forehead right here on my hands. See that? Then I'm gonna bring my feet up. I'm gonna try to bring my heels close to my gluteals, close to the butt. So you're gonna just go one in, one out. So I like to do actual moving dynamic stretch. And you might say, well, how far am I supposed to go? And I'm gonna say, well, how far can you go? And if you can get that heel in, you're gonna feel the fronts of your legs give a good stretch. So this kind of flutter kicking is such a good thing to do. So if you can just do some hip lifts and then do some flutter kicking like we're doing right now, then pull those heels in really tight. Take a big deep breath. And then we're gonna keep our elbows down. We're gonna put our forehead on our hands. We're gonna tighten our tummy. We're gonna tighten our gluteals. And we're gonna bring the elbows up, and we're gonna bring the head up with the hands. And we're gonna hold, and we're gonna take a breath. And we're gonna hold, and we're gonna take a breath. We're gonna hold, we're gonna take a breath, and we're gonna put our elbows down and our forehead down and totally relax. And we're gonna roll our ankles back and forth. All the way, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All the way down, back and forth. Just keep rolling. This should feel really good. And if you can do anything else, get down and just do this roll out of your ankles, okay? Take a big breath. 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 Now we're going to take one leg at a time. This is commonly shown with both legs. It's too much for some people, okay? And I might say that if you can't do this in the floor, you can do almost all of these against a wall, okay? Just stand against a wall and bring your leg, one leg up as you keep yourself positioned on the wall, okay? So up, hold, 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 point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Take a big breath through your nose, drop your shoulders. Bring the other leg up. Point, flex, point, flex. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. And down. Take a big deep breath, drop your shoulders. Here we go. Bring one leg up, hold it up there, and then tap and up. Tap and up. Yeah, just move it a couple of times. Rotate. Up. Back down with the other leg. All the way up. Back down. Up. Back down. Up. Back down. Take a big breath. Bring those hands in. Go into that hyperextension. Then you're going to push on your elbows. And you're going to tighten your tummy. And you're going to crawl yourself back to hands and knees. You're going to open your legs. You're going to sit back as far as you can sit back. Bring those arms way up above your head. Sit your hips back as far as your knee or hip will allow. Come back in. Go into that mad cat that I did before on the counter. And if you're not in the floor, go right to your counter, right to your chair. And you can do this whole mad cat and camel thing. This is a very good motion for your spine, your shoulders, your hips. Take a big breath. So I'm going way down into a camel position and then way up into a mad cat. I'm gonna push my shoulders way up, take a big breath, squeeze the butt under, and then back down. Okay? Now, I'm going to come off the floor. So yeah, I can go over to my chair and do my split stance like this and get up that way. Hold, hold, no problem. However, I don't want you to forget that you have other options. So I'm back here, my toes are under, my tummy is tight, and I'm going to tighten up my tummy even more because I'm going to bring my knees off the ground while I keep my elbows soft. Breath and exhale and come up, step into it, come up to your knees, equalize, take a big breath, and then, and only then, do you come on up. You don't come up quickly. You take your time and you come up. Let me emphasize that if you have a counter, a back of a couch, this is a perfect place to do modified push-ups. Perfect. Many of you just cannot even comprehend doing a push-up. You start here, use the same muscles. You just don't have as much press. So you stay here, bring your elbows in, and you just let yourself right in to the counter. Step in. If it's too hard, come right here and come back. Keep yourself taut. Drop your shoulders. Come right in here. Hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And then come back. And if you can get to where you can do that kind of pushback from a wall, a counter, make it a regular thing. After you eat, I'm going to recap. After you eat, if you have nothing around you, like we did the push-pull, see my elbows? I'm using my muscles pretty hard, actually, to push-pull. Every time after you eat, if you did a cycle of like 2 or 3 sets of 30 of those, or go up against the wall, a counter, step back, keep taut, push in, push back, bring your knee up, bring your knee up, push in, push back, put your knee up, put your knee up. Do it slowly, but you're contracting muscles. And that's where the magic is. And it's doable. And it will take up all of that glycogen after you ate a meal. That's how your body's supposed to work. Anyway, I hope this helps. Let me take us off of my recording. Wait a minute. Let me find. Okay, stop recording.